the HTC One M7. Released in 2013, making it 5 years old, now discontinued, the HTC One M7 was a flagship. I'm gonna base this review on the 5 pillars for a smartphone by Marques Brownlee: the display, performance, battery life, camera, and build quality. Starting it off, the display. With a 4.7-inch panel, which is 12 centimeters for the European fellas, and a screen resolution of 1080 by 1920, make it sharp and bright. The glass itself is Gorilla 2 glass. All in all, still a good display nowadays. Next up is the obvious one, the fact that you all know, based on the title, I'm supposed to review the iPhone 5. The HTC is my mom's phone, and she needed it, so I could not shoot anymore for the irrelevant 5-year-old phone review, so the 6 years old iPhone it is. Apple's flagship smartphone for 2012, and my daily driver. Rocking a 4-inch, 10cm display with an okay resolution. I think it is Retina, and in my experience, it's not that bad. You can live with it, and I've never had any issue, except it popping up a tiny bit. Mixed opinions on it. The performance. This phone cannot update to the latest software, iOS 11. It's funny, when I updated from iOS 9 to iOS 10, it was terrible. The phone was slow and unresponsive, the lags were unbearable, but now that the new iOS was released, the phone started performing somewhat better, and the lag is sort of bearable now. Not torturing the A6 chip. Furthermore, with updates, I can say I have a better performing phone today than the year before, which is still very poor. Since I got the phone, I've had problems with the battery. I can barely say I've gone a full day without charging it. The standby time is not that good, and I'm forced to always bring the charger with me and a chunky battery pack. All of this is made possible by the incredibly small size battery. The cameras on this phone are decent. The front one is a 1.2 megapixel sensor that can shoot 720p video, which is nice for video calls, friends, and whatsoever, and takes nice selfies, although lacking in detail compared to today's front cameras. The rear camera is a 8 megapixel sensor which takes nice pictures in daylight, but lacks the internal image stabilization, which make it a poor camera under low light conditions. Video wise, it can shoot 1080p at 30 frames per second. It cannot shoot at 60 frames per second, nor can it shoot slow motion, and as we said, the lack of image stabilization make the footage look shaky. But I must admit, this camera has been my companion my early days as a content maker. My first videos were entirely shot on this thing, and I can't complain. It has served me very well. Solid camera. The design on the iPhone 5 is different from today's round and curved edges. It is boxy, and that makes it grippier, and a less pain in the ass to use and handle. The aluminium frame is nice, but the antenna lines and the Wi-Fi reception is really poor. It is a solid build phone, considering the amount of times the phone could possibly be dropped in a very long 6-year period. So, the iPhone 5 I would say checks camera box, build quality, and sort of the display. The other ones are not up to par with the 2012. Except the 5 pillars, the iPhone 5 does not have a fingerprint scanner, expandable storage, fast charging, although it charges really fast because of the small battery, enormous bezels that could have been used to place some front-firing speakers, and instead we have just one speaker at the bottom right, a poor front microphone for calls, and adding the accidental water spill on it a year before. I now hate when people call me. It's not missing much from most current phones, and it has a headphone jack. That's good.
What you want?